let us now tell you about what are the tariff that has been imposed by Donald Trump on the countries that have already received the tariff letter. Now, the first is Japan, that has been imposed 25% tariff by the United States, and South Korea has got 25% tariff. If we talk about South Africa, 30% tariff has been imposed by Donald Trump on South Africa. Kazakhstan got 25%. And if we talk about Laos, there's 40% tariff that has been imposed by Donald Trump on Laos, which is the highest. And Malaysia, 25% tariff. Myanmar, 40%, which is also the highest. And Tunisia, 25%. Bosnia, 30%. Indonesia, 32%. If you talk about Bangladesh, 35%. Serbia, 35%. Cambodia, 36%. And the tariff that has been imposed on Thailand is 36%. And these tariffs are effective from the 1st of August 2025. So these tariffs ranging from 25% to 40% have been imposed, with the highest being on Laos and Myanmar, which is 40%. And we're now being joined by Business Today TV's Siddharth Zarabi. Siddharth, a very good morning to you. So these tariffs that have been imposed by Donald Trump, they're getting strong reactions globally. People have started hitting out, saying that we'll impose retaliatory tariffs despite Donald Trump's warning against retaliation.
Well, very clearly what has happened overnight is the following. The first key point to understand is that Donald Trump has pushed back his own deadline of July 9th by 3 weeks to the 1st of August. Why has he done this? He's still hoping for some deals to be made. If you look at the decision that he has announced about the new tariffs, it is basically a repeat of what was done earlier when he had first announced the July 9th deadline. At that time also, he had come out with a list of countries and a rate card of tariffs. The second major point that we need to understand at this stage is that in certain cases, for example, countries like Cambodia, the new tariff rate that has been proposed to be implemented from 1st of August is actually lower than what had earlier been proposed. So there is a second climb down that we can see from the details. The first is pushing back the deadline to 1st of August. The second is lower tariffs for certain countries. These countries, Japan, South Korea, South Africa and others, are clearly those where he hopes that some trade deal happens. For example, with regard to Japan, Japan had actually expressed frustration that they did not know what the United States wanted, and therefore the deal was not going anywhere. And finally, the point about India, which is of great interest to us, Donald Trump has once again expressed hope that a trade deal is set to be signed, which means that there is no retaliatory action happening against India. The extended 3 weeks deadline gives more time for any final last-minute negotiations to be done. As is widely known, we have already had very extensive detailed talks with the United States. A trade negotiation team led by the Special Secretary in the Commerce Ministry was there for well over a week. And it is now up to Donald Trump to take a decision. There is one final complication. Meanwhile, he is threatened that any country that supports BRICS will attract an additional 10% of tariffs. So we'll have to see what it really implies, because remember, we are also a founding member of BRICS along with Brazil, Russia, and of course, China.
All right, Siddharth, thank you so much for all those details and for that context.